All right, today we are going to discuss comparing objects to one another because we learned when we learned about comparison operators or relational operators, you can't just compare an object to another object and expect it to work. So just remember when we use those relational operators, equals to, not equals to, greater, less than, etc., we're going to compare the values at those variables' memory addresses. So when we use those operators with a primitive variable, that's fine because the values at those variables' memory addresses are the actual primitive value. So I can compare a primitive value to a primitive value just fine. I'm going to show an illustration just so we can have a better representation of this. But we cannot use those operators with reference type variables and expect to actually compare them because the values at those variables' memory addresses are the references to the object data, which is almost always going to be different. So if I have two ints, x and y, they both equal 7. I have Boolean z equals x double equal y. I have my two variables x and y. The thing in their box is the number 7, or at least the binary representation of the number 7. 7 and 7 are equal to each other. So we are going to say that is going to give us true. Those are equal to each other. If I make two rectangles, 1 and 2, and they each are going to equal a new rectangle with a width of 4 and a height of 5, I have my two variables, 1 and 2, and each of them is pointing towards a different rectangle here. So when I check for my equals equals, what it's going to check is, are those at the same memory address? Are those arrows pointing to the same place? And if we look at our illustration here, they are not pointing at the same place. Even though the contents within those boxes are identical, that's not what we're checking. We're checking, are those arrows looking at the same place? Do they have the same memory address? The answer is no. Since we used the new keyword, we're going to make a new object in our computer's memory each time we do that. So if we actually want to compare an object against another object of the same type, we can usually use the .equals method. Most classes are going to have that method built in. So if we are using another class, so if we're importing one, we can use that .equals usually. And we can also add a .equals to the classes that we write if we're expecting to compare classes to each other. When we write our own .equals, we just need to make sure that all of the relevant attributes between our two objects are the same as each other. And if they are, we'll return true, otherwise we'll return false. So let's say we want to add a .equals to our rectangle class. What needs to be true for two rectangles to be equal to each other? The width and the height of both rectangles need to be the same. So if those attributes are the same as each other, those rectangles must be equal. So we can make a public Boolean equals because it's going to return true or false. Our parameter is going to be another rectangle because we're going to compare the rectangle we're currently working with to some other rectangle. And we're going to return whether the width in our current rectangle is the same as the other rectangle's width, and the height of our current rectangle is the same as the other rectangle's height. If both of them match, and will give us true, so we will return true, those two rectangles are identical. If they don't match, we'll return false, saying, hey, those aren't the same. So this lets us actually compare two rectangles, checking if they're the same size, rather than just checking, is the reference the same, which is helpful. So what we can do with the equals equals and not equals relational operators with objects is determine if they are aliases of one another. So two object references are considered aliases when they are referencing the same exact object data in our computer's memory. So if I have two objects looking at the same data, they are aliases of each other. So one way that we can always make aliases is by setting an object equal to another object. So if I say rectangle1 equals a new rectangle 4, 5, I'm going to make that rectangle in my memory. And if I say rectangle2 equals 1, I've got my two rectangle objects, and they're both going to point towards that same exact piece of object data. So both of them are going to have that same object data. So if I were to change the contents of 1, the contents within 2 would also change because they're looking at the same thing. They're referencing the same object. Does that make sense? Sweet. So when I say match equals 1 double equals 2, since both of these are looking at the same thing, that will give me true. They're looking at the same object. Their reference is the same. We can also compare objects to the keyword null, which, if you remember, we get null when we don't initialize an object. If I just declare an object and don't initialize it, that object will equal null in its memory address. It won't have a reference. So if we want to make sure that an object has some object data in it, we can check whether or not it is equal to null. So we can make a public Boolean is null, and it can accept a rectangle object, and we'll return whether or not that object equals null. And this is useful so that when we are comparing objects, we can check that our second rectangle object isn't null before we do those comparisons. Because if I try to access the width attribute from a null object, I'm going to get an error in Java. It's going to say, hey, that doesn't exist. You're trying to access something that isn't real. So if other doesn't equal null, if other exists, then we can do that condition we did before, saying width, checking if the width is the same as the other's width, and whether our height is the same as the other's height. If other was null, though, we're going to say false. Those two rectangles are definitely not going to be the same. Nothing is not the same as a real rectangle. So, yes.
Both rectangles are null. Never mind.
If both rectangles are null, then we wouldn't even be able to call the dot equals method because null doesn't have access to this method. We need to have access to an actual rectangle object before we can access any methods within that class. Good question, though. So let's practice this. We have 4 strings. String 1 equals new string cat, string 2 equals new string cat, string 3 equals new string dog, and string 4 equals string 1. So when I check string 1 double equals string 2, is that going to be true or false? It's going to be false because those two strings do not have the same memory address, correct? Is string 1 equal to string 3? Also false. Those also don't have the same memory address. Is string 1 equal to string 4? That one's true because they have the same memory address. They are aliases of each other. If I change from my equals equals to a dot equals, is string 1 equal to string 2 in this scenario? Yep, they have the same contents, though they are equal with a dot equals. Is string 1 equal to string 3? Nope, those strings are different. The words are not the same. And is string 1 equal to string 4? Yeah, because they're pointing to the same memory address. You're going to basically comparing something against itself. So absolutely it's going to be the same. So that is how we can compare objects using the dot equals. We can make the dot equals for ourselves. And there we go.